Good morning. It's my morning, 2 p.m. Where do I even start? So, yesterday I decided to start demolishing, and my t-shirt may be dirty because of it, because I'm about to work again. So, yesterday I started demolishing my wood stove, which is a very old wood stove that is not safe to operate anymore because it produces a lot of smoke and it's just not reliable. Sometimes it works, sometimes the smoke goes out into the house. It's just not safe. And to fix such a wood stove is very expensive and it's not effective. The new wood stoves are much more efficient, so I knew I wanted to get one. So it's been on my mind for a long time and I knew I should not delay it anymore because it will get cold later. So I'd rather do the work now of preparing the place for a new wood stove. So I started demolishing the old wood stove, and actually I did really well. I worked maybe 4.5 hours, something along that time, and I managed to demolish maybe 90% of it. So today I have the remaining work left, which is a quite hard one because the bottom of the stove is the most bulky one to remove, but one by one, brick by brick, I'm going to do it. And this very interestingly ties into my spiritual development, because what I find is that this farm that I bought kind of represents my state, and when I'm doing some kind of work on it, it represents something spiritual. So it looks like I'm just randomly starting to work on a wood stove, but actually it's some representation of what's happening in me spiritually. And you will find the same thing about your life. It's a representation of your spiritual state. So as I was working on that wood stove, and then I got really amazing dream today that I had to analyze, and I was reflecting on everything. And then I was thinking about what does the wood stove represent, because it really does represent something, and me now deciding to demolish it. And then I started getting these thoughts in my mind that it's about the center of the house, because the place in cold climates where the fire burns is the most important place in the house. So it's like the heart of the house is being replaced. And this corresponds to my yesterday's lesson. As I said, lessons are very interactive, of A Course in Miracles, when you're doing them honestly with your heart. So the lesson was about I will put it in my own words, the stranger of fear, that we have invited fear into our home, into our minds, and we don't even recognize that stranger is there. Let me just read a few sentences so that you understand what I mean. So 160. A stranger to himself can find no home wherever he may look, for he has made return impossible. His ways lost, except a miracle will search him out and show him that he is no stranger now. So basically, we invited the stranger of fear into our homes, into our mind, and so we were taken out of it, so to speak, and therefore we don't know who we are. We don't understand our true nature, because in our homes the stranger of fear dwells. The miracle will come, for in his home his self remains, which means the mind is still intact. It asked no stranger in, because we are dreaming of an illusion that we are separate. Actually, that didn't even happen. So it asked no stranger in and took no alien thought to be itself. So here it's explained that stranger is an alien thought. So the same thing is told about the ego. They are all one: fear, anger, it's all ego and it doesn't exist. It's just a thought of separation that is not real, because it wasn't thought with God. It doesn't have the backing of God, so it's not immortal. And it will call its own unto itself in recognition of what is its own. Who is the stranger? Is he not the one yourself calls not? You are unable now to recognize this stranger in your midst, for you have given him your rightful place. You see, this is so amazing. So yesterday's lesson was this, and before sleep, I was working so hard yesterday, demolishing the wood stove, and then unfortunately, towards the end of the day, I decided still to do some work of mowing the lawn, as well as picking apples to clear the site for mowing. And so when I'm working too much, sometimes I can feel this. I can work and work and work, but then the muscles cannot relax at night, and so I cannot sleep. So yesterday I couldn't sleep until 6 a.m. So before, like maybe 1 hour before, maybe less than that, I decided to listen to Tone from Life is But a Dream. I love this person. He's awakened. And so I was listening to him, and I sat in meditation, totally relaxed. And what was he talking about? I just randomly selected one of his lives. And actually, I wanted to listen to another one. And then I was like, oh no, I will listen to that one. So I randomly selected at the last minute one of his lives, Leviathan, it was called. And what was he speaking of? The same thing that the lesson 160 was speaking of. So in the lesson 160, it's a stranger in the midst that you invited and you don't recognize. Leviathan, according to him, is that stranger. You don't even know that you have a stranger in your home. And he's explaining, as the Christ mind comes, it starts removing that which is false from you and sifting out the false from the real. And then he says you will notice that whole personality as a total stranger, totally fake, living in you, and you will be able to get rid of it. So amazing. I love these synchronicities so much. So, okay, I'm getting this magical, absolutely magical lesson. I'm totally relaxed. I'm in bliss, in meditation, listening to his meditative sermon, so to speak. And then as I'm feeling this bliss, and my mind is relaxed, my body is totally relaxed, almost ready to sleep, I'm still sitting in meditation, and I start feeling the light work on me. So even I could see the flashes of light, and it was intensely working on me. And that's how in this state I sank into sleep. And then when I woke up, around 5 hours later, at 11 something, I remembered the dream that I had, and I straight away started writing it down, because when you're reflecting on the dream in that semi-sleep, semi-wake state, when you are like just waking up, you get insights about the meaning of the dream. That's why the earlier you write them down and think of it, of the dream, the more insights you will get. So I know this. So I was writing down, thinking about it. I spent maybe 30 minutes on this, and I started getting insight after insight about the meaning of the dream. So in the dream, I saw myself kind of all over the place. One of those dreams at first where you're not even sure what you're doing. I had some kind of canvas with makeup on, and I wanted to go outside to check if I'm able to test the makeup first on the canvas before buying. It was a very weird dream. I was in a hotel, and so I decided to go out, and I went out, and then I found myself on an escalator. And as it was going up, I was getting afraid because I started seeing nails on it, and I thought it's totally unsafe, and that I was trying to hold on to the rails, but then I saw the nails and I thought, oh my god, that's so dangerous. And whenever I would feel like I'm in danger, there were some personnel above, on top of where the elevator ends, and they would see me and they would come to help me out. They would take me down so that again I would try to go up, and they would try to resolve the issues that I was having so that I'm able to successfully go up. So that was the dream. I woke up with this different energy that I was feeling in me, like I cannot even describe. I never felt that kind of different energy before. And straight away my mind went to associating that energy with one of the men that was helping me. And the way that I would describe that, I don't remember the face. Maybe I didn't even see the face of that man, but his essence was like if you would go out on a date with the man or the person of your dreams, but without any lust or physical impulses included. It's like, or like when children get this happiness during the Christmas morning or something like that. And it was so full of love. So it was like you are on a date with someone divine. That's the best way to describe it, because there was definitely like love, romance, but not of the worldly kind, and freshness, Christmas-like quality. So I believe it was Christ that my mind interpreted in that way. And the whole dream of an escalator, it was obviously the interpretation of my mind about what was happening to me. That's why it was so random, because that's the best way the mind could interpret the work that was happening to me. And it was something along the lines of those higher beings trying to help me, to raise me in the levels of consciousness, so to speak. But it was frightful for me, and so they would try to help me to clear my mind, to heal my mind, so that I'm able to go up in the levels of consciousness. That's what the escalator represented. And the dream showed that they do the majority of the work. Like it is told in A Course in Miracles, you need just little willingness, and you need to do your function of forgiveness. All else will be done for you. So I was definitely shown this in the dream, that the majority of the work is done for you. All you need is just willingness to go up, so to speak, to reach heaven, the steps to heaven, ladder to heaven, and to do the work, forgiveness, just forgive, and then you're going up, and all the work is done for you. Because it's also told in A Course in Miracles that if you reach God unprepared, it will be traumatizing for you. You would be afraid. So you need preparation. So that's again represented by my dream of me being afraid of going up, because I see all these nails and everything, and then those beings come to help me to kind of fix the things around me, but it's basically working on my mind so that I'm not afraid to go up. So it's just all magical how everything is aligning. And I'm looking forward for Christ to reveal himself more and more. And we are one. Me, I am also, you are also, that Christ mind. But we are in this dream of separation, so we perceive Christ as someone separate, but we are just getting to know ourselves. And in a 160 lesson, it is also told that, is it not crazy that you don't even know yourself? You think that the self is separate from you, the spiritual self, whilst you are actually it. So these are some of the amazing, magical, synchronous, is that a word? Synchronous events that I experienced just this short period of time. So I hope that this will encourage you to continue studying a course and seek for Christ's face. Seek for Christ. And the more you look up, the more they are enabled, the higher beings, to work on your mind, to help you, to raise you in the levels of consciousness. And our work is so small, just to forgive, just to be a little bit willing to experience heaven, to understand ourselves, to look up, to try to abide by the laws of heaven. Just little willingness to do these things. Give them an opening to do work on us so that our way to the kingdom is as smooth as possible.